Hello students of Standard 9, I Sudhir Kumar in front of you with the further topic of chapter what is democracy and why democracy. In last video I just explained you about the summary definitions, right, and after that we just study argument against the democracy and argument in favor of democracy. Right, so I think till now on the basis of the earlier videos now you have a clear cut scene of democracy in your mind, right? So in today's video we will just try to understand the broader meaning of democracy, right? Now it may be possible in your mind a question is just running down that what is broader meaning, right? Right, for this it is necessary that to understand all of us that the evolution of the democracy, I mean to say, as there was in initial phase democracy, that form is not continued till now, means as initial there was democracy, in today's context a lot of features or you can say advancement or improvement happened as per changing of the time with increasing increasing the demanded and changing the circumstances. So dear students, if we talk about today's democracy, so today's democracy is popularized as representative democracy, right? As per the definition of democracy, right? As per the definition of democracy, generally a government elected by common people or a government can be formed on the basis of consultation and discussion, right? So whenever we will talk about that, is it possible that whatever the all peoples or all population can be sit together and take any decisions? So in today's context it is not practically possible that all people's desire or all people's want can be fulfilled, and for any decisions all peoples gather together and discussion and debate will be done. So there is convention of representative democracy right now, right? So whenever we will talk about the earlier period democracy in Athens, right, or later on so many forms, so many places, but today's democracy is just based on representative democracy. Now as it is written on the slide, right, you are just seeing that why representative democracy is necessary, right? Why there is need of the representative democracy just comes out. So dear students, now whenever you will see that the population of any country is just increasing very fastly, and whenever you will just see the example of India, that population of India is about 130 crore 130 crore, and it is increasing day by day. So is it practically possible, or is there any place in whole country where all the population of country be sit together and elect their government, right? So whenever we will think we will get the answer, it is not practically possible, right? So the whole country is just divided into different parliament or legislative assembly and representatives was just elected by the common people of that particular regions, right? As just happened in MLA or MP elections, different countries are just divided into different legislative assembly area or the constituency constituency for Lok Sabha, and from every constituency there was one representative just elected, and there is election for happen for every individual constituencies, right? So due to the large population, right, there is not possible of gathering all peoples at one place, so there is need of representative democracy, right? Second thing, peoples does not have the time, desire or the skills to take decisions, right? Is it possible every day we call all population and sit together and just talk to everyone that what decisions should be taken for the country? Just belonging from the belonging agriculture, belonging from the defense, belonging from the education and different regions. And one more thing, every peoples are not skilled and not knowledgeable of every sector, so they cannot take every decisions, right? So it is not necessary, and perhaps it will be complex work or practically impossible to call always in for taking any type of decisions, right? So there is need of representative democracy, right? Everyone are not skilled in every sector. It may be few peoples are just interested in economy, few peoples are just knowledgeable in politics, few peoples are just just think about earning and managing their requirements of family. So for sort out such problems, there is need of representative democracy, right? So it is now clear to everyone that why there is need of representative democracy. Now we will have to talk about the democracy versus good democracy, right? Now democracy is what and what is good democracy? If we talk about the any government, either government of the China or the government of Zimbabwe or the government of Estonia, everyone is democracy, but these are not ideal democracy. Means a good democracy and democracy, there is difference, little bit difference between both the things, right? Means a good democratic country means just following up every ideals or just containing every features of democracy, right? Whatever the different four features we have just discussed, if a country just inherits or just follows all the features, right, then you can say there is a good democracy. If we talk about only elected government is not sufficient condition for democracy. Only the organization of election, organizing the elections and electing the government is not sufficient condition for a good democracy. Apart from the election, there is need of a government just working on the consultation and consent of all those who are affected by that decisions. Means in good democracy, whatever the different peoples, they are just affected from any decisions, it is necessary that to take consent and consultation, and after that just forming the policy. If such happens, then you can say a good democracy. Second, a good democracy means the government is just working under rule by law, rule of law, not rule by law, but as per the rule of law, just following the whatever the constitution is made, and respect of rights must be followed, rights must be respected by government. If such things happen, then you can say a good democracy. So this is the little bit difference between democracy and very good democracy. In democracy, for all the features, the peoples are struggling for it, but in a good democracy, all the features are applicable and government just take importance of every features equally and just respect the rights of the people. So this is difference between the democracy and good democracy. Now if we have, as we just study, that the arguments against democracy and in support of democracy, then we are finding that if any of the features of any of the positive features of democracy, then there is a question why, what just comes out, right? There is just its demerit just comes out. So democracy right now, whatever in any country of the world, there is not any ideal form of democracy. Every countries are just working for making their country towards an ideal democracy, right? So dear students, a democratical country has to work till that day, right? Till that day, until each and every problems can be eliminated and can be solved very comfortably by democratic government. If there is any dispute, if there is any problem just happening in country and government are just struggling for it, then we can say that till that day we have not achieved an ideal democracy. So every country of the world has to work for this to achieve an ideal democracy. Perhaps there is not a single country in the world where there is not any problem. Means there is not any perfect democracy in world. There is not any one country about that country it can be said they have a perfect democracy. Means that we can say absolute conditions for democracy to achieve it is not possible, is not practically possible, but we were just working for this. Apart from this, what should be we discuss on the broader sense of democracy. Broader sense of democracy means we must have democratical thinking. If we talk about in family, is there any partiality between boys and girls? Is any difference between male and female? Right? If each and every peoples of the country will start to think democratically, just started to give equal rights and just started to think politically or socially or economically equal, then we can say there is ideal situation of democracy, right? If there is any difference between male and female, if there is any difference between upper class or lower class, if there is any difference between any caste, if there is any difference between religion, if there is any difference between region, then we can say that there is problem existing now and we have to work. Perhaps first of all, it is necessary to make all of us ideal democratical thinking. We must have ideal democratic thinking. Till our mind is not working as a democratic thinking, then we cannot achieve the condition of the ideal democracy और परफेक्ट डेमोक्रेसी. तो प्यारे बच्चों, मैं लास्ट में बताना चाहूँगा कि ब्रॉडर सेंस ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी का मतलब है किसी कंट्री के एक एक व्यक्ति में डेमोक्रेटिक थिंकिंग आ जाए. डेमोक्रेटिक थिंकिंग आने का मतलब है किसी व्यक्ति को सभी को इक्वालिटी बेसिस पे देखना, इक्वल बेसिस पे पॉलिटिकल, सोशल और इकोनॉमिकल राइट्स प्रोवाइड करना, किसी तरह का कोई पार्शियलिटी और डिस्क्रिमिनेशंस नहीं होना। और डियर स्टूडेंट्स, जिस दिन किसी कंट्री के सभी सिटीजन्स में ये आइडियोलॉजी आ जाएगी और ये थिंकिंग आ जाएगी, तभी हम कह सकेंगे कि वो कंट्री पूरी तरह से आइडियल डेमोक्रेटिक हुई है। तो अभी तक शायद दुनिया का कोई भी देश ऐसा नहीं है जिसको कि हम परफेक्ट डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री कह सकते हैं, बट मेनी मोर कंट्रीज आर जस्ट फॉलोइंग द मॉडल्स ऑफ आइडियल डेमोक्रेसी एंड स्ट्रगलिंग फॉर अचीविंग इट. So I think now it is clear to everyone, and with this topic there is end of the chapter. Now in next video we will discuss about few questions, right?